Stock markets in Asia fell right after this morning's earthquake in Japan, an early sign that this disaster is going to have a significant impact on one of the world's largest economies, and that's going to be significant for us here in the U.S. CBS Money Watch editor-at-large Jill Schlesinger is here this morning to discuss exactly what this impact is now going to be worldwide. Jill, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let's talk about the impact, the economic impact. This is the world's third largest economy. So how does that now trickle down?
Well, first of all, we don't know. It's early hours, right? But what I did was I did look back to 1995. There was an earthquake in Kobe, smaller magnitude, 6.9, but that earthquake did $100 billion worth of damage in the Japanese economy. But the interesting thing was the stock market in Japan at that time recovered fairly quickly. So that may be a good model to look at. Of course, we're at different times today than we were in 1995.
When we say fairly quickly, what type of time limit are we looking at?
We saw literally within weeks that they recovered and actually started gaining ground.
Let's talk about the European markets now and the markets there. I would think after something like this, it would not reflect well, but how bad was it?
Well, in Japan, stocks were down 1.7%. European stocks were down over 1%. European stocks closed at 3-month lows. Of course, there's been a lot of other things going on in the world. Specifically, the unrest in the Middle East has really caused some concern about will the economic recovery across the world become derailed? Now, I personally don't think that's going to happen, but there's a lot of anxiety out there, and investors are feeling it.
What about here in the U.S., coming off a bad day on the Dow yesterday? What's it going to look like today, do we think?
Well, look, yesterday we lost about 2%, Dow down a couple hundred points, NASDAQ and S&P also down. I thought it was quite interesting, though. We had this down day just a day after we had the 2-year anniversary of a big, long bull run for stocks. So there's a few things going on here as you look at the stock market. Unrest across the globe, but also we've gone up almost 95% for stocks, twice the level we were 2 years ago. This is almost a healthy breather for the stock market. I think in our economy, what you suspect is the car makers, so we see Honda, Toyota, they're going to stop production. A company like Sony is going to halt a lot of production. And so in the near term, our imports from those kinds of companies could be affected. In the long term, hopefully we see a very small loss of human life and a limited economic impact.
All right. Jill Schlesinger, thank you very much.
Good to be with you.